I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Frequency Podcast Network. Stories that matter, podcasts that resonate.
He's in the building!
Drink the moment. Drink it.
I said empty your mind.
Coquettish and coy. Ow. Ow.
What?
Yeah, there's people that are dying.
The wickedly talented.
More than great. It was historic.
Crack is world.
Oh, good for you.
I have to apologize.
One of the hottest.
Welcome back to The Reheat, a podcast that re-examines the wildest celebrity news and scandals of yesteryear and asks, how would we react to the same events if they'd transpired today? I'm Sarah Sahagian.
And I'm Sadaf Hassan, and this week is another hot off the press. Now that we're back from vacay, we just want to catch up on a little bit of what we missed. So this week, we're going to go over some of the craziest headlines we can't stop thinking about and have been talking about the last 2 weeks over text. So a few quickie headlines first. This one's fresh off the news. Brandon Blackstock, Kelly Clarkson's ex-husband, passed away this week at age 48 due to cancer, leading her to cancel the rest of her residency to spend time with their children. This, for some reason, has led to a big conversation around why would she do such a thing if they're exes? But hello, they were in love one, and he's the father of 4 kids. She's grieving an ex. That happens. It's normal. I know they had a very complicated and messy split, but it's still very possible. Now, next up, we have Andy Cohen. I'm taking you to the other extreme. Andy Cohen called out tennis star turned Real Housewives star Martina Navratilova's anti-surrogacy stance. He said it's ill-informed and dumb. And I think he's right. I know there's a lot of different views on surrogacy out there right now. Martina's been surprisingly anti-surrogacy, anti-trans. She, of course, famously came out as one of the first tennis stars to do that. And she's married to one of the Real Housewives and is often on Real Housewives of Miami. And I was very bothered as a fan that nobody was ever really addressing this and touching on it. And her wife had come on Watch What Happens Live on Bravo and said it was taken out of context. And that's ludicrous. She literally tweeted surrogacy is wrong. So they're going to take it. There's no context needed, I fear. So I'm glad that Andy said this. For the record, Andy has 2 kids via surrogacy. So he had reasons to stand up for it. So I was glad to hear that. Sir, any thoughts on that little nugget?
She's had a lot of problematic views. I'm not surprised.
She is. And Julia Lemgova, who is her wife, said, we share a bed, but we don't share a brain. And, I get that. But I'm also... Sure. I don't know if I totally buy the idea that you can be together as long as these two have such stark political opinions that differ. I don't know that I buy it. I find it a little strange.
If you really love someone, sometimes you think that they don't mean things that they genuinely mean. Yeah. So it's hard. Like, I try not to judge people who are in love with someone else too much, because we know that love has made people do very weird things, even nice people. And also, like, there can be so many different factors, like financial dependency, other things. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but like, marriage is complicated. Love is complicated. So yeah, I mean, I don't usually love writing off the spouse because of the bad behavior of their partner. That's just that is just something for me that I usually, this is sort of like a hill I will die on. But I mean, also, I don't know, maybe these things didn't come up at the beginning of their marriage and then you've got a life together, right? And you're like, okay.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. And these are topics we're all talking about more now.
Yeah.
So you're not wrong. You're not wrong. These two also, I think part of the reason this came up recently is because these two have adopted 2 children and they're later in life adopting, and that's become a big storyline on the show. So I don't know. It's complicated. It's complicated. Okay, let's dive into our first big headline because I've been dying to talk about this with you, Sarah, for 2 weeks. I couldn't be happier with this news. It's joyous. It's delightful. Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson are an item. They're in love. Well, I don't know if they're in love, but they're dating. And I love an elder romance. She's 58. He's 73. He was previously married to actress Natasha Richardson, who passed away in 2009, pretty tragically. As far as the public knows, he hasn't dated anybody significant since then. She previously dated Tommy Lee, Kid Rock, and a few other men, basically, who all, in my opinion, were never good enough for her. I've always felt she could do so much better. She and Liam met on the set of the new Naked Gun, so they've been on a pretty spicy press run talking about the relationship. He loves her sourdough. She bakes for him all the time. They just sound really sweet. Sarah, what do you make of these two?
I love it. I think that's great. I'm glad they found each other. I'm rooting for them. It's wonderful. He's had a pretty tragic life with his beautiful wife died under really sad circumstances at such a young age. And Pamela's not had the best love life. I'm glad that she has found a man with a particular set of skills. Liam Neeson can take good care of you, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like no matter what situation you're in, Liam is going to rise to the occasion. Like Liam is going to protect you from bad guys. Liam is going to enjoy your sourdough. Liam is going to take you to the opera. Like Liam's going to do whatever you need Liam to do. That is a man, a real man. They don't make them like that anymore. Like literally, he was born in the 50s. They don't. That vintage is rare now. I'm just so happy for her that she found herself this real man who's going to respect her and care for her and appreciate her baking.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Yes, he's a real man. He has that sexy ass voice. He has aged so well. He also previously dated Helen Mirren. We'll include a link in the show notes where those two talk about their past relationship on the Graham Norton show. And I just feel like that's a really good string of women he's had in his life. So I feel like he's got great taste. We love Pamela Anderson on The Reheat. We'll also link to our previous episode where we talked about how wonderful she is and this resurrection she's having of her career. But she's a poet. She has her book out. She had her documentary. She's having this amazing return to the screen. So I just feel like things couldn't be getting better for her. I'm just so happy for her. She feels like a friend of mine who I just want to celebrate.
Yeah, and it shows it's never too late, right? We live in a society that loves to write women off, right? I mean, we love to say that as soon as you literally turn 35, you are no longer a viable woman. And we've seen that happen to countless celebrities. But I'm happy that she's having this kind of renaissance. And this is my favorite type of celebrity, actually. The celebrity who like really hits their stride in their 50s, like a Laura Dern, a Pamela Anderson, Christine Baranski, right? And I think that this is one of the biggest issues still left. I mean, there are so many issues for feminism, but ageism is one of the bigger ones, right? Like we live in this society where, especially in the media, right? The messages it sends you, sort of your story is not worth telling literally after age 35, right? And so there's something so subversive about Pamela Anderson not wearing makeup, but then still having the sexiest man in the room on her arm who loves her to death and just being a poet and a writer and a phenomenal actress and just saying like, I'm not done yet. I love it.
Oh God, I love the way you put that. Sorry, I couldn't agree more. Her not wearing makeup on this press run, previous press runs has just been so beautiful. She's a gorgeous woman with or without it. And what's been really interesting, even as this is happening, as The Naked Gun is out, there's been such an interesting divisiveness on social media about her not wearing makeup. Shocker. A lot of men, also shocker, saying, why is she doing this? What is this publicity stunt? Put the makeup on, grab the lipstick. And a lot of women coming to her defense, as you just said, that why should she? Why should she bother? By the way, just for the record, one of the reasons she stopped wearing makeup is because her longtime makeup artist passed away. And she said it helped her realize, like, what is the point? I don't need this anymore in my life. And I love that. And I think, yeah, the fact that he's so into her right now just proves it. And speaking of having second chances, you can also fall in love more than once. I feel like that's what this makes me think of a lot. I think people forget that. You don't just have one love. You don't have one soulmate. I don't believe in that. I think you can fall in love a million times, honestly. And I feel like these two are destined for that. And this is such a good reminder. So I don't know. It's inspiring me as a single person. It's delightful. I haven't seen The Naked Gun though yet. Sarah, have you?
I don't know if it's my type of humor, but I love it for them. I love that Liam gets to have fun. After his wife died, he went through this period where he was just making, stuff like Taken, right? Where it was these kind of revenge fantasies where a man typically was avenging a woman who'd been wronged. And I get that. I'm not Liam's therapist, but I think we all know what drew him to this sort of material, right? I think we all know. And it's nice to, paycheck. And also, I think he liked the idea of saving a woman because he couldn't save his wife. Liam famously doesn't really believe in therapy, or at least he didn't used to. So I feel like maybe he was using his art the way other people would use therapy. But now I'm happy for him that he can do a comedy, that he can laugh at himself again. And it seems like there's a real lightness that's been restored to him. I think part of that is Pamela. I think part of that is just, I guess he's in a different phase of life. And I love that for him too. I really, really want him to be happy. One of the best pieces of television I've ever seen is there's this show in the UK, and the name escapes me. It's the best reality show of all time, where people, they have cameras of people just watching TV. All these different families from different backgrounds watch the same show. And one week they all had to watch Taken because that was on TV. And everyone went nuts. People who hadn't seen it, they were high-fiving, being like, Liam Neeson, we're big fans now. And I feel like this is a man who has brought so much joy to the world. Anytime you see a Liam Neeson movie, there are always a bunch of, he just transcends generations. There are people in their 20s. There are 7-year-old grandmothers who'll be like, I'll see anything with Liam Neeson, right? And he's brought so much joy to the world with his B movies. I'm glad that he can have joy now.
But Sarah, that was excellent. I had no idea he's not a fan of therapy. Now, while that takes away points for me personally, I love what you said about him trying to sort of save his wife through these movies. I never thought about it that way. By the way, guys, if you're not in the know, because we've mentioned a couple of times, Natasha Richardson passed away from a tragic skiing accident. You could definitely look it up. It's quite heartbreaking. But again, this could be a happy ending. We got a lot more stuff to dig into, but we're going to take a really quick break. We will be right back. Stick with us.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
And we're back. Okay, staying on the hot Canadian news because there is so much of it this month, shockingly. Now, this probably is the spiciest morsel we're going to get in a while. Justin Trudeau, former Canadian Prime Minister, and Katy Perry, former astronaut, are maybe dating. They were spotted out for lobster together last week, and then he was spotted happily watching her from the stands at her concert in Canada. What's interesting is that people are very divided about this, but for the most part, people are pretty disgusted and taken aback. I, for one, am in love with this. I say,
Yes.
Justin, get it. Like, you cannot be living PMO vibes for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself. Go nuts as a gorgeous man. Is Katy batshit? Absolutely. But I don't know that he's about to marry this woman. Like, I think he's just getting started. Sarah, how do you feel?
I think they're true love. Honestly, I think they're perfect for each other, okay? They're both people who want to be feminists and don't always know how and don't really succeed at it.
Wow.
I think, yeah, they're kind of tone deaf, privileged people. And I'm not one of those Justin Trudeau haters. I know there's a spectrum. There are some people who really think he's the devil in this country. And I appreciate a lot of what he did with, subsidized childcare and making dentistry more accessible. And I also think he's a great public speaker and perhaps the best public speaker we've ever had as prime minister. So I don't think he's a complete idiot. But his judgment isn't always great, especially like he does a lot of grandstanding, kind of like Katy. Like he would go to space for feminism. Like he would do something like that.
He would.
They both have bad instincts. And so I think, and they're both really good looking. So I think it might be true love. Also, his dad loved himself dating a celebrity. That his dad dated Barbara Streisand. So like
That's
father,
true.
like son. Sometimes you just can't resist an American celebrity.
Pierre Trudeau did date Kim Cattrall, who actually described him as incredibly sexy. So I don't know. You're right. These two line up like father, like son. I'm loving it. I think it's steamy. I also hope that finally, and I know I am in a minority with this, that this could lead to a really good Katy Perry album, which we have not had in years. This woman has been so off. She's lost her magic.
God, yes.
Sarah's cringing. I need it. I love Teenage Dream. I need another one. Take me back, Katy. If it's Justin Trudeau who does it for you, I'll take it.
He's her muse. Well, I mean, he is really
Maybe.
good looking. So maybe this is his destiny now. In retirement, he can be the muse for female pop stars. Like, okay, this is fine. Let's have him. I mean, if Taylor Swift breaks up with Travis Kelce, let's have him date her next. Okay. Let's him. You're not into it.
No, I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, Shania Twain, I feel like she's gone a bit too conservative. He could bring her back.
She has. That's fun. I like that idea.
Sarah McLachlan. I think she's single. Isn't she single? Maybe not, but I don't care. Let's break her up and put her with Justin.
I love it. I want him to date everybody hot. Like, just go
God.
out there.
Yeah.
That photo of him looking at Katy in the audience during her concert, he looked like a kid at a candy store. Like his jaw was dropping. He looked in such awe, not very well dressed, like a typical millennial dad or I guess Gen X.
He's Gen X.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm obsessed with the whole thing. I can't get over it. They're definitely dating. These two have hooked up. In case you're not sure, they definitely have. Let's see where it goes. God, can you imagine turning around and Justin Trudeau in your bed? It's something so surreal about all of it.
She's not Canadian, so it won't be as weird for her. But I mean,
true.
Yeah, it won't be as weird for her. It's funny because I never think anyone's hooking up. Like we always disagree with this.
I know.
I never think anyone's having sex. I think they're having sex. This is the first time where I'm like, no, obviously they are. I don't. Yes, for sure they are. And good for him. Good for her. Also, Orlando Bloom is hilarious. Like that Onion article about him like hanging out with Angela Merkel and how he liked it and appreciated that it was funny. I was like, good for you. Like this wound is fresh. This could be a real blow to you, but you're like, no. I'm going to take it in stride. I'm going to laugh at myself. I loved that about him.
I love that you say this. Yes, Justin has been looking, dare I say, well fucked, and it's so nice to see. Now, in terms of Orlando, he's also made a post on Instagram, which I think we mentioned previously, talking about how lonely he is and how loneliness is getting to him. And I fear, Orlando, or not fear, but I know that you will not be single for long. That man looks very much like he always has. Legolas will be fine. You will be just fine, sir.
Remember we talked about that? Call Mindy Kaling.
We
Call
did.
Mindy.
Sarah has a great fanfic about those two together, and I love it. I love it.
Call Mindy Kaling.
The fanfic lives in her mind. We got to get her to write it up one day, please, Sarah.
They can be in my romantic comedy about the Tooth Fairy falling in love with Santa Claus.
That sounds very kinky, Sarah. I would like to hear more, perhaps in our Christmas episode.
By the way, this is a total throwback, right? I mean, Katy and Justin, it's just like his dad used to date celebrities like Kim Cattrall and Barbara Streisand. And that makes me think about something I loved yesterday, today, and will love forever, Shoppers Drug Mart.
Why do you mention Shoppers? Does this have anything to do with a, say, contest situation?
I think we've got something exciting in store for our listeners. Steph, would you like to tell them about it?
Yeah, I'd love to. Okay, so the Reheat, aka me and Sarah, are giving away $500 gift cards to Shoppers Drug Mart. Sarah, tell them how you enter.
Okay, so this is what you've got to do. The keyword is throwback. Text it to 925-555 and text it with your name to enter for your chance to win. Again, text throwback. That's THROWBACK and your name to 925-555 for your chance to win a $500 gift card to Shoppers Drug Mart. Standard data and message rates apply. See contest rules linked in the description of this episode for details.
Good luck. Okay, one last piece of very Canadian news and also a little political, just because we're dealing with another Nepo baby of Canadian politics. But Ben Mulroney, son of former PM Brian and former E-Talk host, and Jessica Mulroney, former stylist and former friend of Meghan Markle, have split. This, surprisingly enough, I believe has been the biggest news in Canada out of all of the nuggets that we just mentioned, which just tells you how much people really care. They were together for 16 years and they share 3 kids who, lest we forget, walked at Meghan's wedding to Prince Harry. Now, I want to mention one thing, too, because I think a lot of people miss this if you're not very online, but a lot of this couple seemed to step out of the spotlight once there was a little bit of drama between Jessica and Sasha Exeter, who is a Toronto influencer. Now, Sasha had accused, this was back in 2020, had accused Jessica of trying to hurt her career when she called her out for being silent during the Black Lives Matter movement. And it just exploded, and it led to Jessica losing brand deals, her job on Good Morning America, her reality show. Ben left E-Talk, allegedly not for this reason, but it seemed pretty clearly to be for this reason.
Yeah.
And then it also seemed like she lost her friendship with Meghan, although who knows really there. And yeah, we didn't hear much about these two since then, but now cut to 5 years later, they've formally announced that they've split. Sarah, are you devastated?
No. Is anyone, I mean, I guess they're children and I feel bad for them, but like, it doesn't seem like anyone is devastated. I don't even think they seem devastated.
You know why? Because these two both don't exactly have the best reputations, at least in Canada. They both come off a little bit scummy, icky, dare I say?
Yeah, I mean, I think that here's the thing. I know through media, and I'm sure you do too, lots of people who've interacted with Ben for various different reasons, maybe sometimes through work and maybe just at events. And I've actually never heard a bad word about him as somebody that you meet in a professional setting. But I don't like his political views, obviously.
Yeah.
And she does just come off as a little bit icky. I mean, the way she kind of exploited the friendship with Meghan, and also the weird way she went after Sasha Exeter, who hadn't even said anything about her. Like, it's not like Sasha called her out. That was so bizarre.
I know. We'll link to that whole drama in the show notes if you want to catch up, because it's very complicated. But yeah, Sarah's spot on. She never said anything about her directly, and then Jessica kind of imploded her own situation herself, in my opinion. It just looked terrible. What I'm curious about is, do we think these two will have a second life in media? Are we going to hear from them again? Are they going to be more public facing?
He has his radio show. I mean, he hasn't gone away. He's just become more conservative. So I don't think he's ever going to.
Which is interesting.
It is interesting. I don't think he'll ever go away. I mean, if his family has anything to do with it, I think she will. So if you remember what happened as soon as the scandal broke, clearly his family had been waiting for half a reason to distance themselves, because they kicked her off of the board for the Shoebox Project, like basically the next day. So, which leads me to believe, right, because if you love your family, you typically give them the benefit of the doubt. You'd probably agonize a little bit longer over this decision, even if you felt it was the right decision for the nonprofit in the end. They held the emergency meeting. They're like, clear your schedule, cancel that spa day, cancel your work meeting. We're going to kick our sister-in-law off the board.
Jesus.
I feel like and this is, I don't know the woman, but from that makes me feel like at the time, at least, maybe this isn't the way she is all the time. She was going through something that made her maybe not super pleasant to be around.
Yeah, that's true. You know who really hung in there for Jessica Mulroney? Our good friend Mindy Kaling. Yeah, she was styling Mindy for quite some time, even through this drama, I remember. I don't know. That's
so weird.
It's a bit weird, and I think it's one of the reasons some people feel like Mindy is maybe not always on the right side of things. I've definitely felt that way before. However, I will say I loved Jessica's styling for Mindy, and not a lot of people agree with me on this, but I felt like she helped take Mindy into a place where her fashion has been like great tailoring, really beautiful silhouettes, so vibrant. Like, I think we can thank Jessica for a lot of that. And that is the one positive I will throw Jessica's way.
I don't think she's a bad stylist, for sure.
No, I think she was
would
good
never
at her
say
job.
that. I actually think she was good at that job. I don't think she needed to be an influencer or a media personality. I think there's a reason that she wasn't good at it. Yes, the woman understands clothes. And that is not a small thing. Like, I don't want to be one of those jerks who diminishes the importance of style or fashion or what a stylist does. No, they don't design the clothes, but that doesn't matter. They are curating them, right? I mean, they're doing something real and they're matching the right clothes with the right person. And they're also kind of like a little bit of a style therapist because they have to take you out of your comfort zone sometimes. Like, I do think that, and I've known stylists, it can be a difficult job and it is a real craft. And I think she's definitely excellent at that. I think the problem was they were maybe too ambitious as individuals or as a couple. And, you know, honestly, if you gave me that life where I'm like, okay, I'm kind of like a D-lister just by virtue of my family connections. I come from money. I get to dress Mindy Kaling. I feel like that would be enough for me.
So too, and really, if there's any takeaway here, then it's stay in your lane. And I say that to Jessica, and I say that to Benjamin. I don't know what's going on with him these days. Celebrities who are turning a little more conservative these days, it feels very much like a cry for fame more than anything else. And I feel like that's what he's doing. He's pivoting in a way that I don't think he needed to, but here's my final question on this for you, Sarah. Do you believe that this is the reason, not the split, but this downfall that Jessica had because of the Sasha situation is why she and Meghan split? Because these two were very notably very close. They were best friends.
Yeah, I do believe it. I think that it's probably on multiple levels she had to distance herself. First of all, it's just a gross thing to do for your friend to be harassing random people on the internet for no reason. Then, of course, there's the fact that it felt really racist because there are lots of people who were making similar comments to what Sasha was saying, and they were very general. They weren't targeting people. They were just saying, like, white influencers need to do more, right? And there were even white influencers themselves saying this. And Jessica wasn't, like, going into their DMs being like, I'm going to take away your sponsorships, right? So it did feel targeted. It also just felt unhinged, right? Like, it's beyond being evil, it didn't feel strategic because I'm like, you've given someone DMs that are incriminating. What is wrong with you? It just speaks to really, really poor judgment and a lack of self-control. So I feel like if you're royalty, you can't have people like that in your circle. What do you think?
No, I think it was so sloppy. So so as Sarah's saying, basically that's what Sasha had posted. She was kind of calling out the white people who weren't speaking up fairly, I think. And then, of course, Jessica thought she was targeting her, which is quite wild if you think about it. And maybe
so narcissistic.
So narcissistic. And maybe you should look inward if you are feeling that is about you. And then, as this was blowing up, Sasha actually released their DMs and their conversations to the National Post. So, you know, it's as much of a Canadian scandal as you get.
Yeah.
But it was really the end for Jessica Mulroney in a lot of ways. I do think she can resurface. I think maybe as, like, I don't know, a stylist who comes in once in a while on City Line, like that kind of situation. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like there's a book coming too. I feel like we'll have that eventually at some point.
A memoir. I will read her memoir. I won't pay for it.
I won't either.
Get it from the library or something.
And we'll share that copy.
Okay. We'll just I will just troll various spas until I find a discarded copy. I don't want to give her money. But I do think there's a book coming because people would read it. Maybe a podcast. Maybe I could see her doing a podcast. I don't know if anyone's going to take the financial risk to give her a show again, right? Like that I Do Redo show, right? That was a huge investment and they had to cancel it. So I don't know if anyone's going to bet big on her again like that.
Good point. I think you're probably right. I think a podcast is the way to go. Everyone has one now. Wink, wink.
Please like and subscribe.
On that note, that is this week's episode. Thank you to everyone listening, new and old. We love you. You can listen to The Reheat for free on the Seeker app. You can also find the show on the Frequency Podcast Network or wherever you get your podcasts and everyone else's. If you want to hear more from me, you can find me at _Stephason on Twitter. Sarah, where can our listeners find you?
Listeners can find me on Instagram at Sahiki and Sarah. And if you liked this podcast, please rate, review, and subscribe so other listeners can find us too. And if you would like us to keep growing, and we hope that you do, we'd love for you to support us on Patreon at patreon.com/thereheat, where we've got some goods in store for you. Thanks for listening.